What? Who? Oh, I must have dozed off. Perhaps we need a spot of tea to wake us up. What do you say, Rufus? Yes, quite right. Better get back to work. This book won't write itself. Maybe I should start somewhere easier. I'll come back to the prologue later. The sun rose over another perfect day in picturesque Arthurton. To the casual observer, Arthurton seemed like any other small, quiet town. It was nestled in a valley between two mountains, lined by lustrous forests, and perched on the edge of a pristine lake. It had a main street with all the essentials, including a place to sip coffee. It had schools, a college, a church, and a police station. It even had a museum no one ever visited. It was the kind of place you might find anywhere on your travels. Typical, maybe even forgettable. But there was one thing in Arthurton that was unlike any other town in the whole world. Actually, it was a girl. Her name was Jenny LeClue, and she was the world's greatest detective. Finkelstein residence. Oh, hello, Glenda. Yes, he said he might ring. Okay, patch me through then. Richard? Yes, I got it. I did, and my answer is no. I understand that, but... Well, yes, of course, but... No. Nothing is settled. I'm not going to do it. It goes against everything my books stand for. No, not yet, but... If I could just... Please, listen to what I'm saying. You don't understand what you're asking for. You want me to turn Jenny's world upside down? Kill off my characters and destroy everything I've built over the last 30 years? Fine. I'll give you what you want. But I warn you, I'm a stream of consciousness writer, and you have unleashed my fury. Good day, sir. Boring? Predictable? Pah! Well, if it's murder they want, it's murder they'll get. It should have been another perfect day in Arthurton. But today was different. And nothing would ever be the same again. To begin with, Jenny LeClue was dead. Her skin was pale, her eyes glassy and frozen. What cruel fate had befallen our beloved detective?
No! Never move the victim!
Mrs. LeClue, she's doing it again.
Jenny LeClue, you are a dead body. Dead bodies don't talk.
But he's doing it wrong!
As wonderful as it would be if all cadavers were so talkative, we must deduce the cause of death without their help. With only the evidence laid before us, we build a picture from the fragments left behind. We collect clues, interpret the data, and solve our puzzle one piece at a time, until it feels as if the victim is speaking to us. But Jenny is right, Jonathan. You mustn't disturb the crime scene. Vital evidence could be lost.
Sorry, Mrs. LeClue.
Okay, you've all had a chance to study the body? Who can postulate how she met her demise?
Ooh! Me! I think it was an accident?
Yeah, she obviously wasn't looking where she was going.
So she slipped on the wet floor,
And cracked her head open. Like an egg.
and then she bled to death.
Really? How can you tell?
Well, there's a giant pool of blood around her head.
Yeah, I know. I was being sarcastic.
Oh.
Actually, you're both wrong.
What?
It was cold-blooded murder.
Murder?
Don't be ridiculous.
Where's the murder weapon?
There's no evidence anyone else was even here.
Oh yes, there is. It was murder, and I can prove it.
Jenny had read all the books. She'd absorbed all her mother's teachings. But there was nothing quite like getting your hands dirty.
How many people get the chance to solve their own murder?
The first step in any good deduction was collecting evidence. Seemingly insignificant details could provide a vital piece of the puzzle.
First, I'll search the crime scene for clues.
Then she'd analyze the data. And finally,
Deduce the real cause of death. There's no doubt the victim lost a lot of blood. The victim has a green smudge on her lips. It's not lipstick.
without her trusty bifocals, Jenny couldn't see the nose in front of her face. They were her window to the world and the lens through which she focused her keen detective vision. It wasn't Jenny's style to wear accessories, but this hair clip was the exception. Its function as a lockpick had saved Jenny from a long night trapped in her school locker. She'd worn it ever since. Jenny's blue sweater was scruffy and quite uncomfortable, but her grandmother had knitted it, and so it was her favorite. The more it itched, the closer she felt to her.
Approximately 8 sizes too big, and covered in mud. The floor is wet and slippery, but also immaculately clean. What a waste of perfectly good coffee.
Jenny's love for coffee was almost as strong as her passion for crime solving.
Chalky green residue on the rim. Smells like burnt matches. I've seen enough. Time to wrap this case up.
Jenny was a meticulous record keeper, noting every relevant clue in her trusty journal. A great detective knew that solving a mystery was simply a matter of connecting the dots.
I'm certain this wasn't a mere accident. Now I just need to prove it. How do I know the victim didn't slip? The victim's boots are filthy. They should have left big muddy footprints on the floor. So where are they? Either someone washed away her footprints, or she was carried here. Okay, that proves she didn't slip. So how did she actually die? What was the real cause of death? There's a green residue in the bottom of the victim's coffee cup. It smells of burnt matches. Phosphorus. Also found in common garden fertilizer. The same green mark is on the victim's lips. Her coffee was spiked with fertilizer. Someone clearly wanted her dead. Ah, the case of the dead lab assistant. Gone before her time. Was it poison? Yes. A blow to the head? Yes. An accident? Certainly not. No footprints in an unshattered mug? She was killed somewhere else and carried here. This is the story of a scorned ex-lover.
Jenny?
The gardener enacting his revenge.
Jenny!
A deadly brew of fertilizer and caffeine coursing through the veins.
That's quite enough, thank you.
What happens to the gardener?
Is this gonna be on the test?
Remember, class, even the smartest criminals make mistakes. This is how we catch a killer.
But what's the point of all this?
Yeah, there hasn't been a murder in Arthurton in years.
Every town has a dark side, even Arthurton. By doubting, we are led to question. And by questioning, we arrive at the truth. Okay, that's all for today. don't forget, next class is our field trip to the morgue. So have a light lunch. The students need to think for themselves, Jenny. That's why they're here at Gumboldt. To learn.
I just figured we all had places to go. Speaking of which,
And where are you off to, young lady?
I'm a dead body mom, remember? Dead bodies don't tell. See ya.
Wait, before you go, I have something for you.
Cool. What is it?
If I told you, that would spoil the fun, wouldn't it?
The LeClues didn't simply hand each other presents. They hid them. It was a family tradition, and Jenny had developed a sixth sense for finding them. With her trusty magnifying glass at her side, nothing eluded her.
A new journal.
To Jenny, there was nothing better than the aroma of a fresh leather notebook. It smelled like mystery. Without missing a beat, she did what any detective worth their salt would do. She decorated it. A new journal meant new adventures. She imagined all the thrilling cases that would soon fill its pages. And on the first page, her mother had written an inscription.
A great detective never gives up. Love, Mom. I love it. Thanks, Mom.
Jenny, I wanted to talk about, to say,
Somewhere in the back of Jenny's highly caffeinated brain, an alarm bell was ringing. Her mum was hesitating. What could be causing her to act so out of character?
Crossed arms. Furrowed brow.
Jenny saw it coming from a mile away. Her mother was about to get
Emotional. I've really gotta go.
no, Jenny, wait. I need your help.
What? Really?
Jenny couldn't believe her ears. It was extremely unusual for her mother to ask for help. It must be something very important. Tracing the steps of a deranged killer? A cold case that only someone with Jenny's expertise could solve?
I've misplaced the students' essays on decapitation. See if you can find them for me before you leave. I have to run.
Wow, the case of the misplaced papers. Are you sure you want to trust me with such a complex task?
I have no doubt you'll be able to find them. They're around here somewhere.
Jenny was unsure if her mother was unable to detect sarcasm or just really good at ignoring it.
Okay, Mom. I'll find them before I leave. On one condition.
Yes?
You have to let me help grade them.
One of Jenny's favorite pastimes was grading papers. Nothing pleased her more than giving a big shiny F to an overconfident student.
Don't push your luck.
Please.
Okay.
Yes.
Find the papers and go straight home.
But I'm meeting Keith tonight.
No buts, remember?
Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe I'm still feeling the effects of being poisoned for your class.
Well then, I have the perfect antidote. You're staying with your cousin this weekend, and you still need to pack.
This again. Look, I've considered your offer, Mom, and I'm going to have to decline. I'm old enough to take care of myself.
I'll be back late tonight. There's meatloaf in the fridge.
Late again? What are you up to?
Jenny LeClue, it's been a difficult week. Could you please just do what you're told for once and stop asking questions?
Fine.
And try to stay out of trouble.
When do I ever get into trouble? All right, let's find these papers and get out of here. Looking rather trim today, Ethan. New diet? What's the matter? Lost your funny bone?
Becoming a great detective took more than book smarts. You needed real-life experience. And Jenny was always on the lookout for a chance to get her hands dirty.
It's one of the students' term papers. You can tell by the terrible handwriting and erroneous conclusions. Mom must have put them behind the chalkboard. Please do not touch. Someone must be running an experiment. Gross. Pretty soon it's gonna sprout legs. Found you. Time to get out of here.
One of Jenny's earliest memories was making raspberry jam with her mum.
It's the perfect substitute for blood in class demonstrations. And better tasting than the pig's blood the textbook recommends.
Jenny looked around the room one last time. Was she ready to leave? Jenny looked around the room one last time. Was she ready to leave? Okay, so she wasn't really dead. That would be silly. No, Jenny was alive and well and ready for another perfect day in Arthurton.